Hello, guys and gals, and let's see. It looks like this is episode 37 of Vlog Friday, or is it vlog? I don't know. I don't think I've ever actually heard that word spoken. Anyways, it's kind of like Pokemon names. You can basically say them however you like. And well, that's according to the creator of Pokemon. Is basically any way that you say a Pokemon name, any pronunciation is like correct. Like Decidui being Decidui, or Skorupi or Skorupi being like that, and Ratata or Ratatat or whatever. There's also, let's see, trying to think of some funny ones that M&J TV does. But, anyways, like Arcus and Arceus or Arceus. So, yeah. Anyways, we have another vlog going on here, so that's good. Anyways, as always, there's always a topic that we go over first before we go over these 7 or however many points there are. Just because I find these 7 points very, very important. So, and that is genuine, being genuine or genuine. I don't know exactly how it's pronounced. I think there used to be a band called Genuine or something. But I think that around here we pronounce it genuine. I don't know. Anyways, basically that is being authentic. Some in the case of some items, being genuine, the generic forms are just as good as the name brands. That would be medications. Basically, if you take a generic medication, then it is going to be the exact same, have the exact same active ingredients as the name brand, and that's quality control right there. So whether you get Benadryl or I take basically because my sinuses are like terrible. I take 2 antihistamines a day, well, at night, because they really knock me out, because that's the way I am. But I have to, otherwise, I don't know. My sinuses decide to revolt, and it's mucus city. But anyways, so I don't really buy Benadryl. I buy this Dollar General brand because it's cheaper and it works just as well as Benadryl does, because it has the same active ingredient, same stuff in it. So when it comes to medications, getting the name brand really isn't all that important. Now, there are some products like handbags, like if you want the Gucci, or I really don't know about handbags or sunglasses or anything like that, because fashion just really isn't my trend set. I'm not a trendsetter. I buy all my stuff at like thrift stores and Dollar General. So name brands. I mean, like I do have some Abercrombie shirts, Old Navy. Stuff like that, but those were given to me, and I didn't exactly buy those. But there are some products that you probably would want the name brand of, and that would be like clothing and stuff like that. And usually, if you buy shoes, I know firsthand that if you buy like name brand shoes, they're going to probably last a lot longer than the shoes I buy over at Dollar General, which I go through basically a pair of shoes a month because I walk 1,000 miles a year. So, anyways, yeah, I really go through the shoes, in other words. And if I were to buy, like, name brand shoes, my shoes would last a lot longer because there's a lot more care that goes into them, and they aren't, like, mass-produced and stuff like that. So, in that case, you would want the genuine article. Another situation would be, like, dogs, cats, and animals. You'd probably want purebred. If you're going to go for purebred, you'd want the genuine article of that too. Especially if you were going to start a dog breeding business or something like that, you'd want documented proof that this canine is certified AKC, American Kennel Club, German Shepherd or Labradoodle or Min Pin or something. But basically, we've only ever gotten animals basically that were strays or that animals that found us. My grandmother does tell a story of buying a dog or getting a dog from someplace on the outskirts of Rushville. Um, because every time we drive by the house, it was down near Corn Top, if you know what I'm talking about. Corn Top is the old the old meat processing plant outside of Rushville. It was a house near that, near the old folks' home that overlooks the cemetery. And let me tell you, building an old folks' home right next to a cemetery, that can't be very bright. Having the old folks looking out there at the cemetery and then knowing they're probably going to end up there, that can't be really good for their morale. But down in that end of town, my grandmother would always tell a story of getting a dog from someone that lives along that street, and then the dog basically turned aggressive towards my cousin Jason, and they had to either put the dog down because it was aggressive. So yeah. Anyways, I forget where I was going with that, but anyways, so genuine. Sometimes the genuine article is really, really important. So also being a genuine person is important too. But anyways, we are going to go over these little points here. And one is depression. It can strike about any time. And one way to basically counteract? No. To help cope with the symptoms. Sorry. Train derailed there for a little bit. One of the ways to cope with the symptoms of depression is to do something you enjoy at least once a day. Make sure it's something legal. And it's not something that you want to overdo either, because then if you do it a lot, then you'll get less satisfaction from it later. That's the thing about satisfaction is if you do something a lot, then it takes more and more to get the same amount of satisfaction out of something. So that's why I usually say once a day to do something that you really enjoy. Also, I always have to put in quote parentheses here. Make sure it's something legal. Now, anyways, you also have to make sure it's within your dietary wheelhouse. I mean, diabetics can't have sugar, so if you're a diabetic, then you probably shouldn't be eating sugar cookies or chocolate chip cookies. And so, yeah, you really need to know your dietary restrictions and not to violate those. But yeah, that can help with the symptoms, but you should always seek help for the root cause of your depression. Number 2 is there's always someone who cares, and this is really important because it's easy to forget that, especially if you have very few friends. Hello? That's me. Anyways, but yeah, it's pretty easy to basically feel that the world doesn't care, and society is kind of structured that way. Sadly, society is structured that way, and it's really a little bit too easy to feel insignificant, and so you should always know that somebody cares, and that can sometimes make all the difference in the world. Number 3 is if you are suffering from an affliction, there is no shame in seeking help, and I'm of course also have to lump into this mental illness because basically mental illness is something that a person can't help, and so not liking someone just because they have a mental condition is it's kind of racist, I would say, or I don't know if racist is actually the right term. It's kind of unfair to them because it's something they don't have actually control over, and especially if you have paranoid schizophrenia or manic depression, which is now called bipolar, those actually require medication in order to cope. Now with depression, if you have a lot of willpower and you do meditation, and there are ways to cope with depression that don't require medication, but if you are having trouble with depression and there is medication to help it, then I admire people that can cope with depression, without the medication, but I know there are a lot of people that can't, and there's no shame in seeking help or taking medication for something like that. Anyways, as long as it's legal medication that is either over-the-counter or doctor prescribed. Now, number 4 is no matter how bad things get, there is always hope. Now, this is also really, really important because, as I said before, society can basically make things seem hopeless. On social platforms, you can have millions of followers, and you can still feel alone. That's pretty common, actually. It's really hard to develop a rapport or a connection especially over long distances. But it's also easy to fall into a situation that can seem hopeless. But you should never give up hope, and there's always a way out, and not the bad way out. I'm going to emphasize that. I know of way too many people that have taken the bad way out, and it is tragic and devastating. So you should always hold on to your hope, even when times do seem pretty bad. Okay, number 5 is societal tags and labels are pointless. People are people, and it's always good to remember that people are people, even if they sometimes irritate you or annoy you. And if they're kind of different than you are, that's being different is actually really, really important, and we'll get into that, I guess, next. But yeah, everyone is different and unique, and it's easy sometimes to put someone into a box that they don't fit in, or grouping a certain class of people together just because they may have a different religion than you do, a different skin type, or they may be of a different sexual orientation than you are. It is Pride Month, and so yeah, you should really never judge someone just based on just something like sexual orientation, the color of their skin, their religion, where they're from, their accent, nothing like that, because people are unique, and just basically giving someone a tag or a label and then just writing them off is really makes you the loser, because you miss out on an opportunity to meet someone that could be a really good friend. Now, number 6 is be yourself. There will never be another you, and as I said before, everyone is unique, and people should embrace their differences. Sometimes people strive to be just like someone, just to be like everybody else, to fit in, and sometimes they'll put their own wants and desires on hold because they want to fit in. You should always be yourself, and your friends and family will love you just the same. So yeah, you should always be yourself, because there'll never be another you, and you're unique and special. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to add to that. And number 7 is always think positive thoughts, and this is really important because it has been clinically proven several times through numerous studies that positive thinking does increase mood, attitude. It makes life a lot more bearable. It increases a person's lifespan, and it's basically free. Now, you should always think positive thoughts. There is a book, I forget who wrote it, but it's The Power of Positive Thinking. I think I own that book. It's probably on the shelf back there. And so yeah. And I'm not talking about the sarcastic, oh, I'm positive it's going to be a bad day. No, you should actually have genuine positive thoughts, even when times seem kind of rough or could be a lot better. Let's see. But yeah, there have been lots of clinical studies, you can look those up probably, that people who do practice positive thinking do end up living more satisfied lives. And all that. Anyways, but we just tore through all these, and I do hope that this was useful to somebody, at least one person. And so yeah, anyways, I do these because maybe they will reach at least one person. And so yeah, I guess that's all that I have on the docket for today. I'll be back in another week for another vlog, and we will go from there. Anyways, if you like this content, make sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell so you know when I upload. Also, if you want to support me in any way, or if you want to join the Discord server, all that information will be in the description below. As always, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.